Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm getting this video squeezed in just at the very end of the month here. This is my project share for all the pieces that I was able to complete with the package that I was sent from Jesse James Beads. It's for my Design Ambassador package for March. Just as a little recap, I did do a kind of an unboxing video at the beginning of the month, well, earlier in the month. I received the Color Trends Bead Mix in Parisian Blue, Heart of Earth Mixed Media Pendant, Filling Rosy Cobalt Rose Bead Pair, and the Dress It Up Button Pack in Goddess Garden. Now, Dress It Up is the sister company of Jesse James Beads, and I always love when we get the some of the Dress It Up buttons in our packages. And these projects all need to be shared by the end of the month. So like I said, I'm cutting this very close. I've had these made since like the 15th of the month, but my procrastinating self almost went too long in sharing. So let me go ahead and share real fast what I made with the Dress It Up buttons. Again, these were the Goddess Garden, and they are these little tiny flowers. These are what I have left over. They're these little itty bitty flowers, resin flowers, and they have like a little bling center. And so I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left, and I did use 7 on my project. Let me go ahead and put this to the side. I decided to make a necklace. I haven't made bottle cap jewelry in a long time. These are some bottle caps that I had purchased somewhere. I don't remember. I had a pack of a whole bunch of them with the little, they come with like the little resin domes or whatever you call them. Like if you put paper on the inside of the bottle cap, you have these little sticky, like already made resin domes that you just stick into the center of the bottle cap for a very quick and easy project. But for this, I just picked out the flowers that I wanted to use. And of course, purple is right up there at the very top. I did use 2 of the darker green and 2 of the little more yellowy green, and a blue, red, and a purple. And I just laid them out into the bottle cap. Now, they don't exactly fit down in there. The top ones do kind of raise up towards the edge a little bit. But what I did first, once I decided exactly how I wanted them to sit, I just took them out of the bottle cap and completely like flooded the inside with my diamond glaze, and then just took tweezers to like place these flowers into that glaze. And then when I got them exactly how I wanted them, I just set the bottle cap over to the side and just let it cure for a couple days. And so it has like that really nice sort of a liquidy sheen to it. I love the look of this diamond glaze when it's hardened, because it looks almost like water. It's really cool. And then I had this ball chain. I've had it forever and a day in my stash. It was purchased a long time ago, several years, probably 4 or 5 years, from Hobby Lobby. And it's an 18-inch ball chain. It was $1.47, but I probably got it on like sale. And it doesn't show up that well on the camera, but it is purple, and it matches real nicely with that purple flower. So that's why I went with the purple. I thought about using just a silver chain, but I really like that touch of color with the ball chain. So that's just a fun way to use up some of the little flowers from Dress It Up. So that is the first project. Now for the next project, I'm going to show how I used up those 2 cobalt rose beads. In my stash, I had this gorgeous strand of like a sapphire blue and gold. I don't know the exact name of this strand. It did not have the little paper tag on it, but I do know it was Jesse James Beads. I figured I got it from Walmart at some time. It could have been from Joann's, because Joann's, several years ago, they did carry Jesse James Beads until they switched over to their own Hildy and Joe line. But I thought this shade, this blue matched so perfectly with those Feeling Rosy cobalt beads. And so I took 2 of them that were on the strand. Now this strand looked just like this when it was on the package. And these 2 beads here with the bead caps, I believe they were in between these. They were somewhere in the middle here. And I just thought that they would do the best taken out of here because they were, as you can see, they're kind of large. And so I thought they made perfect earrings with these beads. And I did find some blue, like this bright blue bead stringing wire from Soft Flex, and it matched exactly with these beads. And I had recently gotten from, I don't remember exactly where. I think it was from Hobby Lobby. I had purchased a whole bunch of kind of like the clay Hishi beads. And so I picked out some of these blue ones that matched perfectly and just added them to the tops and bottoms of the bead caps with my little gold spacers that I like to use. And so all I did with the bead wire, I ran it down through, and well, I just kind of made a loop around the bead here, the rosy bead, because it is sort of open. So I found a spot to just wrap kind of weave the wire, loop it through, and then just put on my beads onto both strands of the Soft Flex. And then I just took it up and looped it back through the crimp bead, and then crimped it, and then of course just cut off the extra at the top and the bottom of the bead, or the crimp bead. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it does have just a hair of that Soft Flex peeking out the top. But I thought these made really super cute earrings. They were very quick and easy to put together, very fast, and I love how that little rose bead just dangles from the bottom. And so there are the earrings, and then for the rest of the beads, I just strung them onto some of that blue Soft Flex bead wire, and then I attached one side to a very, very short strand of chain. Now altogether, this bracelet measures like 8 inches. So like halfway to maybe a third of the way up is where I would wear it on myself. And I did add these 2 dangles. These 2 teardrop beads were left over from the Parisian blue bead mix. And I thought they were close enough to these other blue beads to make really pretty little dangles. And I'd found some of these sort of antique gold bead caps in my stash and added some more of those little spacer beads. And I did add a spacer bead at the end of each side of the bracelet, and I really love how that turned out. I think it's a very cute and very beautiful. Love that gold with the blue. It's just very stunning. So that is how I used the Feeling Rosy beads, rose beads in cobalt. I made a very nice bracelet and earring set, and also used up another strand of beads from my stash. I have tons of Jesse James beads in my stash. Now for the Heart of Earth mixed media pendant, which is this, I found this gorgeous chain reaction hanging on my wall beside my bead table, where I keep a lot of strands of beads and chain and stuff. And this just matched perfectly. And what I did when I went ahead and cut apart the chain to make it even on both sides, so that, you know, all of the little crystals line up. And then I just added a jump ring and a lobster clasp at the top. And then there's usually one bead that's left over. And so I just turned it into kind of a Y necklace. Took a tiny little, okay, this isn't showing up good. Took a tiny little, actually I might not have used no, I did not actually use a jump ring. These just went, let me see here. No, those just went straight through the end of the little loop on the crystal. Okay, yeah, because these actually came with sort of jump rings in between the different sections of chain. And so I just added a jump ring onto the bottom of the crystal and hung this gorgeous pendant. So it's just like this beautiful Y necklace. So simple and easy. Just take the chain off of the little hanger tag, split it apart in half, and then with the one little bead that you have left over, just make that into the link that holds the pendant, and attach your chain to each side of that little bead link, and you have a very super quick and easy, gorgeous necklace. And I thought that brown, sort of like a brownish colored crystal, went perfectly with this pendant. So that was another very fast and easy necklace. And then when I was digging through my stash, I actually ran across, this is another Jesse James bead strand in this beautiful like browns and golds. Now this is an older strand. Trying to remember. Okay, this is from the chain reaction. And if anyone's interested, there is the item number on that chain reaction. It's item number 6457. And then for the bead strand, this is just the packaging that it came off of. I don't know if it has the, here is the information off of the back of the tag. And like I said, I don't know if this says it is Vintage Family Brown. I apologize if this is an older strand and it's not available anymore, but I was actually going to use this for the pendant, but I didn't want to remove this gorgeous piece out of the middle. I just absolutely love how chunky and blinged up this center bead is, so I just left it all in the same order, strung it onto some beading wire, which is this sort of a coppery gold color bead string or bead wire, and then attached it to this antique copper chain and a jump ring or lobster clasp, and made this really pretty little sort of a vintage looking necklace. So that was just something fun that I made after I ran across that strand of beads from trying to find something to coordinate with that. But then I found that chain reaction, which I am absolutely in love with that necklace. So then let me show what I made out of the bead mix. That is the Collar Trends bead mix in Parisian blue. I did use a chain reaction number 6628 on one of the pieces. So I'll go ahead and show the earrings I made first. I got, I think, 4 pairs of earrings and then a necklace, and only have just a very few, I'm talking like 5 or 6 beads left over. So here is this first pair. I love the cage beads that come in a lot of these bead mixes. They're very cute when you just dangle them from the bottom. I just took a eye pin, or it's actually a head pin that I just cut the flat part off and made my own little loop, and then opened the loop up and hung the cage bead from the bottom. And then on another head pin, or on that same eye pin, I'm sorry, I just loaded on the beads in this order. And I love that sort of a grayish blue teardrop bead there. Very pretty. And there's just a little faceted crystal and a spacer from the bead mix. And I did add my own little tiny silver spacers at the bottom and the top. So there's that cute little pair of earrings. This next pair of earrings is probably my favorite. I love the design. It's sort of a heavier pair of earrings. They're kind of chunky, but I just love how these turned out. These beads here were super wide. They had like a really wide opening. The kind of beads that remind me of the ones you put on those like Pandora bracelets. But these are wood beads. And they had these really fat, chunky spacers, like daisy spacers, almost like they glued 2 of them together to make like a really fat one. And because they were sort of pointed, it fit down in that opening perfectly on that large whole bead. And so then I just stacked up a bunch of the beads together. Here's sort of a faceted rondelle bead. And those chunky spacers, and then that big whole bead there in the middle. And just really think it turned out to be a very cute design. And I did add some of the thinner daisy spacers in between at the top and the bottom. Love how those turned out. I like the sound that they make when they cling together. And like I said, they are a little bit heavier, but just love that design. The next pair of earrings, absolutely love these as well. I think they're very gorgeous and sparkly, and they'd be pretty to wear to like a wedding or something fancy. These earrings here, I used those like briolet style beads. I just took some wire, I believe it was a 20 gauge wire, and just kind of did a messy wrap to make its a little loop on it, and then took a eye pin and just layered on the beads. I did use a lot of spacers and things from the bead mix, just layered them all up. I love that look of all these together, that layered look. I think these turned out so pretty, and they dangle really nicely. They're not very heavy at all, and I just love the sparkle in these earrings. And the last pair of earrings are like sort of smaller, more daintier earrings. Again, I just sort of made these little dangles at the bottom using the baby teardrop beads. And I use these gorgeous, like I call them disco balls, because they're so sparkly, and they're like just acrylic. And then added some of the daisy spacers and these faceted beads here on the top, and thought they turned out very, very cute and very dainty. And now for the last piece that I made with that, using that chain reaction, I used 3 of these sort of faceted round beads. They're sort of gray, darker gray on that side, and then I love this sort of frosted white color on this side. And I used the technique from Soft Flex. They used this technique on some of their videos where they're showing like making Christmas ornaments, and I thought that would make the cutest little necklace. And so I just stacked up 3 of these together. I did have a 4th one. I did not use this one though, because there's like a little chip on that side. That wouldn't be the side that would be facing out, but I still just didn't want to use that one. And I just wrapped the wire around and just sort of made it look a little bit like I wanted it to look. And there's what the back side looks like. So even the back side would be nice as well. But then again, I did the same thing as I did on the other necklace, where I separated this into equal pieces so that the crystals lined up side by side. And with that last crystal, I just turned it into like a Y necklace and used this little bead link here to hang this focal piece from. And love how that turned out. And I just used these really smaller faceted crystals at the tops and bottoms and in between all of the beads. And these are from my own stash, these little itty bitty bead caps. I purchased a bunch of, they had 3 different sizes of bead caps in it from Amazon. And so I thought that turned out to be such a beautiful necklace. I haven't tried it on yet, but I think it will hang I think it'll really look nicely as it's hanging. And then just used a silver lobster clasp at the end. So that is everything that I made. Here is the tag for the bead mix, the Parisian blue color trends. And then this is all I have left. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 of these sort of crackle beads, and 1 more of this. Like I said, it had that little bit of a chip or sort of a crack, almost like the one layer has kind of peeled off, but it could still be used for something, as long as, like, if you're going to use this side of it. And then there's 1 of those like briolet style beads left, and 2 of these little spacers. So not very much remaining at all. I was able to get 4 pairs of earrings and this necklace out of this bead mix. So that is what I have created for the month of March with my Design Ambassador package from Jessie James. I think it turned out super, super cute. And again, this one did not come in the package. It was just in my own stash. So I'll put that to the side. But I thought this pendant was gorgeous. And I love those dress it up buttons. They're not really buttons, but like little resin flowers. turned out super cute. And there again is that necklace. Very fun, very easy to do these. Doesn't take any time at all. You just lay out the pattern that you like and then fill the bottle cap with diamond glaze or crystal effects or liquid glass or any kind of resin that you may have, and then just set those into the resin and put it to the side and let it dry, cure, harden, whatever you want to call it. I just did it for a few nights just to make sure it was good and set, and then just put it on a chain. Super easy. And then I'd say my favorite piece is probably, I absolutely love that bracelet, absolutely gorgeous. But out of the items that I received from this package, I'd say it had to be these beads here. So gorgeous. I've had the Feeling Rosy beads before in a pink color. I believe it was pink. It was ones that I had gotten as a free item when I purchased a certain amount on the website about a year ago. And so I absolutely love these Feeling Rosy beads. They are so gorgeous and fun to play with. So there is my stack of pretties that I put together for this month. I want to thank Jessie James for allowing me to be a part of their Design Ambassador program. And thank you everyone for stopping by and checking out these projects that I put together. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.